Dwyane Wade had an outside baby. A child outside your marriage isn't just an act of betrayal. It's an instant, shattering realization that your partner has been living a secret life. That they and this is not what you thought it was. In a normal marriage, that's a nightmare. In a celebrity marriage, like Dwyane and Gabrielle unions, it's a public spectacle. Shame, guilt, and pain make healing impossible. So you would assume that much global attention would make sure that they stay stuck. But here's the part that the tabloids miss. 14 years later, your marriage isn't just surviving, it's thriving. You may not be a celebrity, but unfortunately, you know pain intimately. Today, we're gonna pull back the curtain on how they rebuilt their foundation, and more importantly, the specific, actionable steps you can use to stop merely surviving your own betrayal and start truly thriving. It's possible. Let me show you how. Before we talk about how they fixed it, we have to first talk about what actually happens to a marriage when that level of trust is shattered. In my experience, I found that understanding what and how you're feeling to be far more important than coming up with a plan on how to fix things. When you find out your partner has been leading a secret life, your brain doesn't just go into sadness mode. It goes into survival mode. You might be experiencing betrayal trauma. This isn't just because of being hurt, it's about your sense of reality being completely rewritten. You start questioning everything. When they said that they were working late, were they? When they said that they loved me, did they mean it? Is this child proof that my spouse was never really mine? Scary questions. The shame makes you want to hide, but the pain makes you want to scream. And that internal tug of war is exhausting. It makes it impossible to think clearly, let alone rebuild a foundation. If you're feeling paralyzed right now, or if you find yourself going back and forth between rage and wanting to run away, that is unfortunately very normal. It's a human response to an ugly situation. But it doesn't have to be ugly for long. You aren't crazy for feeling this way, but if we're gonna get to thriving, we have to move past the paralysis. Stabilization phase. Before we talk about the how, the actual steps to fix this, we have to deal with the paralysis. Right now, your nervous system is in a full-blown survival mode. If you try to fix your marriage while you're still in that state of panic, you're only going to make it worse. You'll make decisions out of fear, not in good health. So how do you move past the paralysis? First, and this is the hard one, stop the detective work. Stop searching their phone, questioning every moment, and trying to reconstruct the past. It only keeps you trapped in the trauma. You can't find peace in the same place you found the pain. Second, give yourself permission to pause. You don't need to decide the future of your marriage today. You just need to decide on how you're going to get through this hour and then the next. Third, don't focus on their behavior. Focus on your baseline. What do you need right now just to feel human? Sleep? Support? Prayer? When you stop focusing 100% of your energy on the betrayal and start putting just 20% of that energy into your own stability, you begin to feel better. Once you've reclaimed that baseline, that sense of I'm gonna be okay, regardless of what happens, is what you'll start to feel. And when that starts to take over, that's when the real work of rebuilding trust starts. That's the only time this actually works. The 3 pillars of rebuilding. If you're ready to move from survival to restoration, you need a blueprint. In my clinical practice, we focus on 3 non-negotiable pillars to rebuild a foundation that was destroyed by betrayal. To help you remember that, I've made this super easy. I call it the 3 C's. Pillar 1, connection, the anti-secret. Most people try to rebuild trust by checking up on their partner. That's not connection, that's surveillance. True connection is radical transparency. This means the partner who betrayed trust gives up their privacy voluntarily. Not because they're being hunted, not because they understand that privacy is a privilege that they forfeited, but because privacy has become our enemy. They provide the where, the who, the how, before you even have to ask. That proactive openness is the only thing that calms your nervous system. If you have to ask, they missed a vital opportunity for connection. Pillar 2, change, the why factor. Change isn't just about stopping the behavior. It's about understanding the environment that allowed the behavior to happen in the first place. This is the hardest part. You have to look at the why. Was there a deficit in the marriage? A lack of intimacy? An avoidant communication style? If you don't change the mechanics of how you relate, the betrayal is just a symptom that will eventually repeat itself, and we can't have that. You aren't fixing the old relationship. You're building a new one with the same but more aware person. Pillar 3, consistency, the trust engine. Trust is not built in big gestures. You can't big gift your way out of betrayal. Trust is built in the small acts of day-to-day consistency. It's showing up, being where you said you'd be, and doing what you said you'd do over and over again. For months. Consistency is the proof of work. It tells the wounded partner, I'm not the person I was yesterday, and I'm willing to prove it tomorrow. So let's bring this all together. If you're currently in the middle of this storm, remember, first, you have to stabilize. You cannot build a healthy future on a foundation of panic. Stop the detective work. Give yourself the space to breathe and focus on your own baseline. Do your self-care. Your sanity is your priority. Once you're stable, you move to the 3 C's. The first, connection. You aren't just checking up. You're creating an environment where secrets cannot survive. Second, change. You're diagnosing the why behind the betrayal and actively building a new relationship, not just trying to patch the old one. Third, consistency. You're proving your commitment every single day through your actions, not just through your words. Dwyane Wade and Gabrielle union didn't fix their marriage overnight. They did the slow, painful, and consistent work of rebuilding. And if they could do it on the movie screen, being watched by the entire world, you can absolutely do it in the privacy of your own life. It's not an easy road, but it's a road that leads to a much stronger, more honest connection than the one you had before. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be consistent. Start today, keep showing up, and give your relationship the chance it deserves. I've seen success in rebuilding trust after infidelity happen time and time again. If you want to bless your spouse with a roadmap to their change, make sure to check out my ebook, How to Love Her Like Christ Loved the Church. It's the first link in the description. If you appreciate this message or my way of delivering it, do me a favor, give this video a like. And if you want more marriage-saving professional advice, subscribe, and I'll keep it coming to you. If you feel like this video could help someone else, don't be greedy. Sharing is caring. Share this video with them and let them learn something new too. I look forward to catching up with you in the next video, which is coming up now. But until then, God bless you and your family.